Good, I don't know if it's afternoon yet. Good day, people. This is Brian from Strigler Photography. I am back with another video here. Still working on my setup. I'm a little frustrated with the whole thing. I've been trying to get my camera to work. So all I'm using right now is the built-in webcam and a microphone, and hopefully it's decent. Anyway, so today is Thursday, so I'm going to kind of give you the rundown on how I got the shot, another one. So today I'm actually going to show you one of my probably more popular, more well-known, one of my favorite shots because it was the whole story behind it's pretty interesting, and getting it was pretty difficult, and just the way it looks is pretty unique and pretty cool. So that's what we're going to get into. Let me just turn that off, and let's see if I can make that work. Boom. Okay, I think you can kind of see that. So, like I said, this is... maybe I'll scoot it over a little bit more. I think you can see it pretty well. So, this is one of my favorite shots. I said it's pretty unique, pretty different. You don't see a whole lot of shots like this, probably because it's really crazy and difficult to do. So as far as the backstory to this, a lot of kind of cool things about it. This was actually the first wedding at this venue, Lake Point, and I think this was like a week, maybe 2 weeks after we had that crazy flooding. And if you lived around here, you know what I'm talking about, where everything just got flooded. And so we had that in our mind. We had just dealt with that, had to deal with that crazy flood. And so we were planning for the wedding day, and in the forecast we had rain. So the bride was a little freaked out. The groom probably didn't care as much, but the bride was really concerned about it. And I just talked to her, and I was like, well, whatever happens, we're going to get photos. It's going to work out. You're going to be married, and that's what's important. And I had done an umbrella shot back in December the year before. And so I kind of showed her that I was like, this is something possible I've done before. So I was trying to make her feel better about the whole situation. So anyway, so we get to the wedding day, and it's actually extremely bright outside. The ceremony's outside. Nothing really is going on crazy. We did have some fun during the ceremony. So this is a fun story I always like to talk about. So best men, groomsmen, if you ever plan on doing something crazy, tell your photographer what you're going to do so they are prepared. So they're standing out by the edge of this lake, and they're on this platform. And when it's time for the best man to hand the ring off, he steps up on the step, but he trips and goes, psh, and all of a sudden we hear this ding, 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 ding. And I literally froze. I was like, did that just happen? Did he really just drop her ring and it's rolling around somewhere? But then a few seconds later, the best man starts laughing, and turns out it was like a quarter or something that he had purposely done this. And so then he hands him the ring. She was not happy at first, but then she started laughing about it. So that was a fun part of that wedding day. I always like to remember that. So the ceremony was fine, no rain, nothing happened. We ended up getting group photos and stuff, but there wasn't a ton of time for couple portraits, so we didn't do a whole lot of that stuff. We get everybody inside, reception starts, and maybe like 30 minutes into reception, these clouds roll in, and it just goes nuts. We're talking about just heavy rain, lightning, all this stuff is coming down, and we're like, oh good, we're gonna have another flood. And so we just go on with the reception. They do all their dancing and speeches and all that stuff, and it's just normal. And I don't know, maybe an hour before I'm supposed to leave, the bride kind of walks up to me, and she, I don't know, half jokingly, half serious, asked me, so do you want to go outside and take some photos? And I don't think I hesitated at all, but I was like, yeah, sure, let's go do it. And so I proceeded to go outside in the storm and set up 2 flashes, and I got it all kind of lined up and prepared before I brought them out because I didn't want them just to be completely drenched. And so I ended up using 2 flashes, And as soon as I got it ready, I was like, okay, we go. And so they ran outside with this umbrella. There's a flash behind them, and that's kind of what's lighting up the rain and also lighting up the umbrella. And I initially started using a flash to kind of light the front of them, but it was kind of too strong. So instead what I did is they were actually on this little patio, or not patio, this little thing, and there was a light above them, and that kind of is what was lighting the front of them. And I just kept firing away. I kept moving, running, being in different positions. And there wasn't a whole lot of time to stop and think about any of this because I'm getting drenched, they're getting drenched, my equipment's getting drenched. And we went for probably a good 3-4 minutes out there until my equipment stopped working. So my flashes eventually kind of stopped. Luckily, they didn't get destroyed. But, man, when people see this, they wonder about that. And, like, in my mind, it was completely worth it. I got drenched, they got drenched, my equipment got drenched, but I mean, it was worth it, and I would do it every single time to get photos like this because these are unique photos, they're cool photos that mean they can show this off to people, and I guarantee you 90% of the population does not have a photo that looks like that. And I think that's really cool that we were able to capture it. And afterwards, they just changed clothes and they just continued to party, and it just kind of went like that. So it was great. I don't think I've done a rain photo like that since, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happens sometime here in the near future. I mean, there's always crazy stuff going on. So anyway, so I love this photo. It was a fun wedding, a lot of crazy stuff going on. The guys took some photos with a station wagon, which was interesting by itself. And then we get to create this really cool photo. So anyway, that's kind of the backstory behind this. Really, really fun time, but also pretty crazy. But I like taking risks. I like doing things that are unique, and I think it was totally worth it to get this really cool photo for them. Anyway, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I can't think of anything. So I got 2 weddings this weekend, so that's going to be crazy fun. I got one tomorrow and then one on Sunday. So I'm really pumped about that. I hope to get some really, really unique and cool shots. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'll be back some point next week to make another video. If there's anything I do for you guys, just let me know, and I'll see you later.